Mrs. Ollie Barnes, and some disadvantages of outsourcing. Even though it's like considered cheaper, you should be aware of getting ripped off. Outsourcing companies or big agencies will typically ask small business owners to sign lengthy contractual agreements, and they'll include plenty of fine print. If you don't read the terms carefully, you could get hit with unexpected costs. While it may not be an issue for everyone, a major disadvantage of outsourcing is that you may be denying your team or a talented local agency crucial work or development opportunities. Growth helps growth, and by outsourcing work, you may not be able to contribute to the growth of your community and those around you. And lastly, because many outsourcing agencies or freelancers tend to service multiple clients at any time of the day, and the work you're sending out may not be receiving the focus it deserves due to the different time changes. Depending on the process you're outsourcing, that lack of focus could be detrimental to your small business.
Keon Watkins, and the disadvantage of outsourcing is that you lose quality control. Most outsourcing companies' main goal is profit rather than doing a job right and taking their time. Therefore, you will receive a product or service back quickly with low quality standards. With outsourcing, you will take a security risk by allowing a company overseas have access to your confidential and sensitive data. When outsourcing a product or service, you will lose control over some business functions, which means you will no longer have control over certain operations that you currently have control of. Most of outsourcing companies will ask you to sign a legal agreement, which has a lot of fine print and hidden fees and costs. Generally, outsourcing work is a lot cheaper than doing it yourself, but you have to be aware from getting ripped off and losing money from trying to cut back labor and production. Also, not understanding the culture and location of the company you're outsourcing to may lead from poor communication and can impact your production in the long run.
My name is Darius, and I'm here to talk about the disadvantages of outsourcing. Um, Number one, the outsourcing supplier may not be able to supply your business anymore. There will be at any time where the business just might not want to be a supplier for you. Um, Also, confidentiality risk. Anytime you involve a new person in your business, that can lead to an increased risk of them getting your private business. Um, Also, there you can lose your control of the business. Um, it's pretty simple, being that as long as you want a supplier, they could have different demands in terms of your business, so you can easily lose control. And also, there are hidden costs behind outsourcing, being that everything that's not included in the contract that you guys write up, there will be fees that you have to pay, the business itself will have to pay, that might not show up on the contract. That's it.
Hi, my name is CJ Williams, and I'll be answering the question of what are the disadvantages of outsourcing. So basically, to start with the definition, outsourcing is the obtaining of goods from an outside foreign supplier, especially in the place of internal source. So that's basically outside sourcing. The disadvantages of this outside sourcing would have to be lack of jobs in the U.S. because of them opening doors to other countries, making stuff for people in the U.S. Jobs in the U.S. It hits home for people who live in the U.S. to not have jobs for certain things because it's been made in other factories outside of the U.S. Second, the lack of transparency. More and more consumers want to know where their products came from and who made them, and goes back to number one. Half the time it's made outside of the U.S. So, I mean, unless you want to be on that witch hunt, you know what I'm saying, and track it down, then, yeah. Finally, you got your labor and environmental standards may slip. So basically, the rules in the U.S., the rules in the U.S. to pay and how long people work, but basically labor might be different in other places. So, this could backfire if people find out that your company is getting a product from overseas and you're overseeing the factory working, and they're over there misusing people or mistreating workers, that could come back and jeopardize your company. So those are my three cons. Yes, sir.
My name is Melante Patterson, and I'm going to answer the question: what are the disadvantages of outsourcing? One of the top disadvantages to outsourcing is the loss of the authority as it relates to the company's standards and mission. Giving another company the right to perform the function of an entire department allows them to perform for profit, making you lose the ability to respond to the changes that may occur in the business due to an extra amount of employees and contracts. In the business, allowing another company to, well, outsourcing towards another company allows them to work to make profit for their product and not complete the mission as a whole for your company to build your company on top of the product. They will only be there to work for profit. So there could be a loss in your customer service way, not within the full amount of cash network, but within customer service. They might just only be there to sell their product and not help you build as a whole business. I got this source from thebalancemb.com.